Oh, I was gonna tell you something, and then you just turned the recording on. It's
Oh,
fine.
tell everybody.
No, it's a secret story about insights. Shoot, I just turned my music all the way up. Sorry. Hey everybody, and welcome to. I don't know how to turn this.
Do you need
I
me to
just
restart
erased
this?
it. No, it's fine. This is the real deal.
Yeah, but it would be realer if you told your secrets on the air.
No, because it's a secret. It's a super secret, but it's something that eventually, people will probably know.
Oh,
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm giving myself way too much credit. No one gives a shit, but
I mean, we're all praying for your herpes. It's fine.
don't pray. Hey,
Whoa! That's the first one of them.
Oh no, that slipped right out.
You've crossed a new line today.
Not only is your grandpa leaving, he died. He just is going to die right on the spot when he hears me. Sorry.
Goodness.
I would like to apologize for starting the show off by saying that. I'd also like to thank our sponsors at Christiana Salon Spa. Listen, we don't have a lot of time.
Back either.
We got to squeeze it in. Thank you so much. Go in there. I got, I think it's called, see, I'm not a girl. It's called a balayage. And that's where they put a little bit of lightening in my hair, a little bit. I feel like $1 million. And people have actually said, your hair looks different. And I'm like, I washed it.
Oh, when you said balayage, I thought that was like a belly massage, and that could be weird.
I would do it,
massaged your belly.
Do you know what I have done before? So when you're in radio, sometimes they ask you to do things for a client. And we're thirsty folk. And so it's like one time I literally went into this place and they had like this, I said the C word and now here I go. They have this vagina tightening machine. And of course I get pitched it because I'm the only girl. And I didn't want to be an asshole.
With a big floppy Lucy vagina.
I know,
there was other girls.
I'm like, what about that 18-year-old intern? And they're like, not our demo. I said, oh, okay. So anyway, I didn't want like the sale. I always felt so bad. Like I don't want the sales rep to lose commission. So I'm like, all right, I'll do it. And so I went in and it was over an hour process where they just hold a machine and push it on your vagina. And try to make small talk. Like at least when you go to the lady doctor and you get a pap, it's like 10 seconds of uncomfortable and then you just cover up. To where this was just like, by the end, I was like, you've seen more than Ryan has ever seen, nor will he see. And so I don't know why we're doing this, but I did it. I was a good team player.
The real question here is, did it work?
I don't think it did.
Dang
I don't think it did.
Really unfortunate.
You know that you could go in and get surgery for that? I know girls who have gone in and gotten like the vagina. I've gotten the vagina tightening surgery, and that's an actual surgery. And I think you have to get one of those like when you bleed and it's like a bag, you have to have like a bag on for a while. I'm like, oh my God.
This is all way too much info for me. I don't like it.
Well, thank you.
Can we move on from it?
Yes, can we? Oh
Christiana
no, I was in
Salon
the middle
doesn't
of
do
the
any of this
salon.
vagina. Yeah, they don't do any of the vagina stuff because now you've got people misconstrued. They're going to be knocking on the door being like, hey, I heard Shawn and Sadie. They said y'all could tighten up my vagina. And they're going to have to send
owner is going to be like, I have had more people arrested this week and I don't know why. This is why they don't do that there. And I would say don't do it because it did not work for me. Anywho, thanks to Christiana Salon and Spa. They're located in Johnstown, right by Shields. Use Sadie and Shawn have no friends to get 10% off your treatment. Again, no vagina tightening, but they offer many more enjoyable things.
The belly
rub.
That
was not enjoyable.
The belly rub that is not actually a belly rub, but it's blonde in your hair. They offer that.
Cool. I love it. Okay, let's move on. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So what makes me laugh about Shawn is that I will often be like, yeah, and he'll be like, what are you doing? And I'll be like, oh yeah, I can do it because I'm doing the laundry upstairs, or I'm working outside doing some stuff, and so I live like an insanely boring life. If I go to Walmart, I feel like I've done something, like I did something. And so a couple days ago, Shawn goes, I can only record through 3 days because I got a call from Post Malone and I got to get out there. And I'm like, yeah, no, totally. I've got stuff going on as well. I'm going to clean out the refrigerator. That's a long time coming. Gonna be a big job, roll up my sleeves. So have fun, tell Posty hello. And you're saying you took a piss next to him. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, I got to give you the whole Posty story. This is
Okay.
going to take a
Okay.
little while, but this is the whole Posty story. So on Monday of this week, no, it was sometime this weekend, I
Yeah.
think. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I get a phone call from an unknown number, and it's this soft-spoken dude on the other line, and he's like, "Hey, it's Post Malone."
I
And
got the same call 2 days ago.
yeah, right.
He
You just
calls
turned
like
him
a
down.
lot of people.
Right. Well,
Okay, go ahead.
it's just weird when they call, especially when they're like Post Malone level, because what are you supposed to like? Oh my God, I've always
Or are
wanted
you
to
supposed to
talk
be
to you.
cool
Or
and be
be like,
like, "What's up,
yeah, what's up,
Post?
old
What's
homie?
up?"
How you been, man? What are you supposed to do?
So what did you do?
I was just like, oh hey man, how you doing? Good to hear from you.
I
Uh
have to tell you, sorry to break in, but I have to tell you that when you said Post Malone called me and I can't record, I'm like, so this is how he's dumping me. Okay. Well, screw you, Shawn,
I
and
would
Post
dump
Malone
you.
too. But
I would do it for Post Malone, but
well, I would
luckily for
dump you
you, we
for
don't
Post
have to.
Malone. Okay, so tell me what happened. Sorry to
Well, so he
interrupt.
calls and he, in his very soft-spoken way, like he's one of the biggest music superstars out there. He could have been like more heavy, but he was very gentle with this. He's like, "This is very short notice, but I'm putting out a country album. And on
Huh.
Thursday, I'd love to have you because I've been told by my record people that you're one of my biggest supporters. So I'd love to have you at this little private, intimate event to play you
Yeah.
some of my music and hang out. But they also tell me that you have kids and I know that you guys are busy in radio, so please don't feel obligated. Please don't feel forced if you can't make it. No hard feelings." I was like, "Sign me up. Yes, I'll be there. See you there."
Well, he made it sound like I had to go. He was very gentle with you. With me, he was more demanding.
He
No,
should
I'm
have been
just
more
saying that's
gentle,
insane.
and he
So
would have
what do
made
you
it would have
like?
made you go.
Did you
So anyway, I was like, "Yes," and he's like, "Okay, my record people are going to call you with details. They'll get you all hooked up on a flight and all that sort of stuff," which they did. So yesterday, we're recording this on Friday. Yesterday, on Thursday, I went to Nashville for this Post Malone thing, and so
yeah.
it's at a popular bar in Nashville called Losers. And Losers is it's a dive bar. It's a real
It
dive
sounds
bar.
cool
It's a
though.
shithole. It's a shithole.
And that's
So
where he did it?
yeah, but there's just 25 radio people, the best partners that the labels thought were the best partners, I guess, they got to go. And I'm told that in all of his years, I think he's been doing music for like 15
You
years.
think
All of his
he's most handsome?
he's a handsome dude. Most in all of his years of doing music, he never met with pop radio, like the hip hop folks or the rock folks or the top 40 folks. He never did. And so it was kind of cool honor because he's never really met with radio before. And so there's 25 of us in the room and not really knowing what to expect. There was no expectation set. We go into this room and they tell us no cell phones because they were going to play his new album like as you're hanging out as a 4-hour happy hour essentially.
Okay, so they're playing the album because I'm
Well, they
picturing
were
you have to
supposed
sit.
to.
You were gonna
No,
sit there.
no,
Okay.
it's a bar, and we were in a smallish area, and so it was kind of cramped with 25 people, honestly. And the idea was put your phone away while you're talking to Posty for the 4 hours. We're just going to play the album on repeat so you can hear it a few different
Oh,
times,
I like
and
that.
he'll introduce some songs, and that was the idea. That is not what happened. He
Okay.
comes in. It's just him and like one or two other guys who didn't look like big beefy security guys like you would normally think you'd see with an international pop star. It
Yeah.
was just like two dorky looking dudes that walk in with Post, and he has a cigarette in his hand, and then Hardy was behind him, the country
Yeah.
single. They're friends, and I talked to Hardy at one point. Hardy told me that he was his service animal for the day because he's never done anything like this, and he's like, dude, I have to have a friend that like knows these people. So Hardy was
Oh.
just like there standing awkwardly. And
Yeah. Well, that's
it
cool. That's a good friend thing to do.
so the whole time Post smokes, like chain smokes, and he talks to everybody for like 10 or 15 minutes. And I had my moment with him where we talked about, he had been to Cheyenne Frontier Days and they give you a belt buckle. And I was wearing my belt buckle yesterday. And so I asked him if it was a Cheyenne buckle. It was not. It was a buckle he got from a designer. So he told me all about it. And
Oh,
it was
nice.
weird. And that was our conversation.
Now, really quickly, I remember when he came to Cheyenne Frontier Days, and I love so many people at Cheyenne Frontier Days. They're amazing, and they said that he was the nicest
He's the
artist
nicest.
they've ever had because he was so respectful. He hung out with like the carny folk, just us regular folk, and was just super cool. And that is such a breath of fresh air. And I hope he doesn't change, and I don't think he will.
Well, he wouldn't at this point. I mean, he has his song called Sunflowers. Did you know this? It is the third biggest song in the history of streaming music.
Really?
Only two other songs have ever been streamed more than that song. And
What?
so
What are the two
I
others?
don't know what they are. One of them is an Ed Sheeran song.
Okay.
And I don't remember the other. It's irrelevant. But what I'm saying is like the guy can't get any bigger. And
Yeah.
so I don't know why he
Plus,
would
he
change
just
at
did a
this point.
song with Taylor Swift.
Yeah, he did it. And it's huge already too. It's called
huge.
Fortnite.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, you can't get any bigger. He's just huge. The one thing, like, I don't know if he's introverted or if it almost feels like a tad bit that he's lacking self-confidence. I've actually heard rumors that the whole reason he has tattoos on his face is because he had self-confidence issues, and so he wanted to cover himself up, and that's why he's got so many tattoos. But it's hard to go ahead.
We've heard of that before because Dwight Yoakam, his manager, I think, was talking about how he wore his hat when he came
Real
to
down low.
where we worked really low because he was so shy. And then one of my favorite artists in the entire universe who is not country, but I love Ray LaMontagne. And he stands in the back of the stage and then the lights go on his people, like his drummer and his guitar. He doesn't
Really?
he's very shy. And so yeah, I've seen him like 6 times and he's always just so meek. He doesn't want anyone to look at him, like not in a Dick J-Lo way, but like in it's like they have imposter syndrome. I'm sure that's what Post Malone has.
I think that's part of it for sure. Cause he's very soft-spoken. He won't look you in the eyes when he's talking to you sort of guy. It's an odd dynamic. It's a weird conversation and kind of almost uncomfortable. And it was like that with everybody I noticed. But then he gets on stage and he like does the craziest dance moves you've ever seen before. Like he's hopped up on some sort of crazy ass acid. And I've been told he's not, but so the good part of the story, I've told you the boring part of the story now.
No, this is all very exciting to me.
Well, now comes the good part of the story because during all of this, Posty he's being fed shots, lots of shots.
Oh, and he's taking them.
Shots,
okay.
and he's taking all of the shots.
That's where the dance moves are coming in.
The dance moves don't ever come in. So lots and lots of shots. I have my turn with him. There's a tiny back room, and it's the only place where the bathroom is. There's a 2-urinal men's bathroom back there and a woman's bathroom, and that's really all that's back there, and a couple of tables.
You have to go when Posty had to go?
No.
Okay.
Good. So I'm sitting back there eating. They had chicken tenders. It's like it was made for me. And so I was back there eating my chicken tenders. And again, you would think that there would be more like big muscly people following Post Malone around. Not the case. So Post comes back and he goes in the men's room. And I'm sitting eating chicken tenders with a buddy right by the bathroom. And I was like, and I'm getting a little tipsy at this point. I was drinking margaritas and I had a lot. And I
thought you were back on the wagon after New Orleans.
No.
You're off it. You have no plans to jump
I'm
back
a full-blown alcoholic now. I'm just kidding.
Well, that's
I had some margaritas. Anyway, so I was feeling pretty self-confident in myself. And I was like, you know what? I told my buddy, I said, how often are you in a small little bar with Post Malone and 25 people? I'm going to piss next to him, even though I don't have to. And so Posty's in there peeing, and I go again, only 2 stalls. So the bathroom setup is a sink and then 2 stalls. And so I get in there, and I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, so please don't like post this all over social media.
His wiener?
No.
Did you look at it?
No, I'm peeing. No, I'm peeing, and there is a divider in between us. I'm just trying to get some out because I didn't need to go. And he doesn't look at me. He's looking straight forward because I looked over to him. He's looking straight forward, and he says, "Can I see your dick?"
Oh my God, I love him now. Now I will listen to all of his songs. And what
And
did you say?
I turned probably bright red, and I just laughed, and he's like, "I'm just kidding, I'm not gay." But again, Hardy was there. He's like, "But Hardy is." And I laughed really hard, and I was like, "I know, I did Hardy last night." And he laughed really hard, and then he was like, "But seriously, hold on, hold on."
May I see your dick?
No, he's like, "Do you think Hardy's gay?" And
What?
I was like, "Well, Hardy's married to a woman, so no, I don't think he's gay." And he's like, "It's a facade. He's fucking gay." And then he goes over to the sink and he starts washing his hands and he continues talking to me and he's like, "But do you even like Hardy?" And I was like, "No,
What?
he's been so good to me." And I told him, I was like, "I have a 13-year-old son and Hardy always asks me about him. He did it again tonight. And so I just have a
Yeah.
ton of respect for him as a human." And he was like, "Yeah, that's cool, but he's still gay." And I was like, "Yeah, I didn't say I said I liked him as a human. His music sucks." And he's like, "I fucking love you," and just left. And that was our bathroom conversation
That
about
is
Hardy
like the
being gay.
coolest I went to the bathroom next to Kelly Pickler once and it was just not fun. She didn't even like, and I don't, what am I going to expect her to be washing hands next to me? Cause we finished at the same time. And it was just, it wasn't cool. She didn't want to see my vagina. I would have been like, hell yeah, Kelly Pickler,
She
you
might have
nut.
wanted to. She wasn't as vocal as
I wish
Posty
she
was
was
after all
Post
these shots.
Malone.
Well,
Damn
here's
it.
so this story continues. It's not done.
Okay.
So the bathroom situation happens, and then the night continues on. So this was a 4-hour event. It started at 4 o'clock and it ended at 8 o'clock. And this is about 7:30 now. Um, I, Posty is getting to the point where he can no longer stand up,
He is
and so
toasty.
he's
Because
sitting
he
in a
was
chair.
probably smoking too, right?
Oh, dude, he didn't stop smoking. He had a cigarette in
Well, I
his
mean,
hand.
like marijuana.
No, he cigarettes.
Oh, okay.
He smokes
Fun.
cigarettes like they're going out of style. Like I
I
don't
think a
think he
lot of
ever didn't.
celebrities do.
He did not have a cigarette in his hand ever for in this 4 hours period. And so,
Yeah. Okay, can I ask you a question that I think a lot of people want to know?
yeah,
What does he smell like? Because I think he's
cigarettes,
adorable, but I'm like, he kind of looks like he would smell funky. He's either going to go both ways. He smells really weird
right.
or he smells like insanely sexy.
He
So what
smelled
was it? Was it sexy, Shawn?
it was neutral, but cigarettes because he had been smoking so
Yeah,
much that the cigarettes.
sure.
I probably smelled like cigarettes too, and I don't smoke, and I was just in a room that he just didn't stop smoking in. So that's the best I got as far as how he smells. And then so at this point he can no longer stand up, and I realized I haven't taken a picture with the guy, and you don't get this opportunity very
No
often. So
way.
I go up to him and I was like, "Hey, dude, we talked earlier, but I didn't get a picture. Can I get one?" So he's like, "Yeah, sit down." And so if you are
Sit
friends
on
with
my
me
lap.
on Instagram or
That's what Hardy
on
does.
Facebook, yeah, then Hardy jumps in and it's a
Oh
threesome
my
and it's
god,
great.
did you post a picture with Posty
Well,
on
yeah, who
social?
wouldn't?
I
Yeah.
didn't see it.
So go look at it. You can. This
Okay.
is at the 7:30 moment when he can no longer lift his head up, and it's clear in the picture that he is hammered. So he's in his chair. He flips off the camera. I flip off the camera. I work for a company that doesn't really allow that, so I had to figure out how to take my hand off. If you look really close, I found a tool
Shawn
where you
covers
can
it with like a
Photoshop your
heart, a
fingers
clip.
off.
Oh,
No, I
you
should have
went
done that.
far. I would have
Yeah,
just
it's just
Snapchatted
like
a heart over
it
it.
slowly goes from like my forearm to my hand. It slowly starts getting more and more invisible until my hand's just gone. And so, and
It's
no one
just,
has noticed it. I don't think no one has commented.
oh,
There's like
now I'm gonna
75
comment and
comments,
say,
and
"Where
not
the
one
hell's your
person has been
hand?"
like, "Where's your hand?" Anyway, that's why my hand's removed
You
because I felt
clearly
like,
photoshopped this, Shawn. You never met Post Malone. You don't even have a hand in the picture.
all right, well, that could be said. Anyway, so 7:30 is when this picture happens that you can see. And then
Yeah.
there's pictures that I can't post that happen after this because right after I take the picture of us flipping off the camera that you can see on my social media, somebody brings him one more shot. And I'm
Okay.
told that he was drinking Rumplemints. Rumplemints, by the way, if you don't know Rumplemints, it's 100
Shawn,
proof. And
you
so
loved Rumplemints.
no, the Rumplemints is the one that no, that was Goldschlager where they rubbed whipped cream and pubes on my face. Um,
In
so
an
I
earlier
I didn't
episode, we discussed this.
I did not take any of these shots, thank goodness, because I was hammered off of margaritas on their own. If I would have taken shots with these guys, I'd have been dead. And so he takes this Rumplemint shot, and the guy who gave it to him said, "How many is that?" He said, "At least 17."
I would
And
die. I'd be
then
dead.
proceeded, and these are the pictures I can't post, in the middle of this bar to pass the fuck out. All the way
Stop.
out. All
All
the
the
way
way
out.
out?
Here, you can't screenshot this.
Hang on, let me get my phone ready.
If you're on,
Screenshot.
if you're not watching on YouTube, here's a good reason for you to watch on YouTube. This is the picture of Post Malone in the middle of the bar.
Now wait, we're doing a video as well. Is this okay? Oh shit, yeah, he's done. That poor man.
He's done.
He sounds like our people.
He's
The
not
whole
done. The
show me
story's
your.
not done yet,
Oh,
though. There's
okay.
still just a
Did
tiny
he
bit
get a
more.
second wind?
No. All of a sudden, because we're all just like gathered around him, letting him sleep in the middle of the bar. All of a sudden, it's like something slapped him and he bounced up and he went to the bathroom as fast as he could. And he had been gone for a while. I thought maybe he had to poop or he had to pee again. He had been gone for like 10 minutes in my mind. And I had to pee this time. I wasn't trying to confront him in the bathroom again for a second time.
You're
I
like,
actually
knock,
had to
knock,
pee.
it's me again.
I actually had to pee this time, and I didn't even think of the fact that he might be in the bathroom. I thought he snuck out the back door and this was over. I go to the bathroom, and the dude who was with him is standing at the door. He's like, Posty's Ralphing in there. You're going to have to give him a minute. And I was like, he's like, you can pee in the girls if you need to.
What? When is Posty gonna learn that you
And
can't
so,
do that? 17 shots. I am now knowing how freaking cool he is with asking to see your wiener in the bathroom. Like that's the kind of encounter you want when you meet somebody that you like. It sucks when you meet someone and they're assholes. And so this is the coolest, most refreshing story, if weird, but poor Hardy also took his time
well,
to
Hardy
walk
was gone.
around, and everyone's like, he's gay,
Hardy
right?
disappeared. Hardy disappeared like halfway through this event. I think he got.
I know, but I'm
offered
saying
out or-
it's. I know.
Yes,
I'm
I
saying
know.
it's
Hardy's
funny.
not gay, by the way. He's married to a beautiful woman named Kaylee.
Okay.
Anyway,
didn't
so
think he
the
was,
story's
but
almost done, almost to the finish line. I went pee in the girls' bathroom because I really had to go. And so I come out, and as I'm coming out, he's coming out, and he says to his guy, I can't make it to the car. And so they put him in a chair. And then now, because I think they had employees that were vetted for this whole thing that were working the party, but they're
okay.
getting ready. We're 5 minutes away from this party being over, and they're going to open the doors to this popular bar. And in Nashville, there's a lot of people that go to these bars. And so they're getting ready to open the place up. And all these other employees that don't even know Post Malone is there are in the building at this point. And so they need him to be left alone, but he can't walk to the car. So they put him in the corner on a chair, and they got some stanchions. They got stanchions, like
What's a stanchion?
the movie theater stanchions, like the poles that have the rope on them,
yeah,
and you can pull.
You're
And
so fancy. I didn't know
they
that.
made a circle around him with stanchions, and they just let him sit there for probably 15 minutes. And then so I left for a minute to the other room because there's two rooms. There's this back room that he's in the front room, which is the main bar. I went to the main bar and had another margarita. 10 minutes later, back just to see what Posty was doing, and he was gone.
Like the night.
And that's the story. That's it.
He's like the wind.
And I bet today he feels good. Real good.
Yeah, he's got but don't you think as a celebrity they probably bring in an IV system and hook him up and like he probably knows all the tricks of the trade. Because how else could you drink 17 shots? I would die. I would literally die.
I think he might have been on the verge of dying.
You could have been at his last appearance. And I think it's hilarious that they just put like a rope around him, like, don't touch
like
him.
this. What are you gonna do? How are you gonna get him out? So yeah, just put stanchions right around him. I wish I would have taken a picture of that part, but I do forever have the picture of him passed out in the bar.
And you can always tell people about the wiener. He wanted to see it, and you could die laughing. Did you tell Hardy, since you guys are friends?
No,
were you like,
he was
Hardy?
gone by the time I got out of the bathroom for the
game.
No, I should. Next time I'll definitely tell him the story because he was so heavily involved in it. But yeah, it's fine.
I would want to know if Post Malone thought I was gay.
Here's the biggest sad part about this whole thing.
He didn't let it go. Go ahead.
The biggest sad part about this whole thing is like I feel like I had a couple of moments with Posty, like I always try, and this is going to sound really cheesy, but when I'm meeting these artists in these situations where it's not just a normal meet and greet where you get 14 seconds, but when you get actual time with them, I try to do something so that I stand out, I guess, so that next time they come to town, they're like, I know you, you're my buddy.
So
And so
following him to the
like,
bathroom
I'm not
was
gonna say something. Yes, that was my thing this time.
yeah,
I'm not
that was
gonna say
okay.
something like everybody else, like, I like your shirt or I like your tattoo or
You're so cool.
my son's favorite song is this song. Like, I try not to do those things because everyone does that, so I try to do something more memorable. And I had my memorable moment with Post Malone so that every time I see him for the history of time moving forward, he will remember me.
But
But he
wait,
won't
how
because he
heartbreak
was so hammered.
I was gonna say,
So
how heartbroken will you be when you see him again and go, "Remember that time?" And he
yeah,
goes,
he's
"Sir,
gonna
I
be like,
don't know
yeah,
you."
yeah, yeah, dude, you should not have followed me in the bathroom. Can somebody get this guy out of here?
What did you do to me?
I
Oh,
have never
dear.
asked anyone to see their dick.
Call the tabloids. That's a very cool Post Malone story. When I was at Walmart, they had 2 for 1 on shredded cheese. So that's my story. The end. No, that's very cool. That makes me so happy that he's actually a nice guy.
I don't know how anyone feels about his music. I never really even listened to it until about a week ago when he called me. That's when I was like, well, shit, I guess I better learn some of his music in case it comes up. And it's okay. Like, it's not my style necessarily, but no
He's got
matter
like
how
an
you like, he's the type of
amazing.
guy you want to root for.
Yeah, I
'Cause
like
he is
him. I like him.
he's a genuine I think he's just a genuinely good guy. I don't know how old he is. You would think that at this point in his life, he would start a family, maybe have a woman
Well,
involved.
he does. Isn't he married? I
Oh, is he?
remember
I don't
him
know.
like on an I don't know, he might have been on like Howard Stern or something.
He was.
And I do remember him saying that he leaves the door open when he poops at his house. And his wife or girlfriend will just walk in and they'll have like a full conversation. And I remember that stuck with me because I'm like, what? Totally stuck with me. But after your story, it kind of lines up.
I'm reading his Wikipedia page as we talk.
Okay. You know who else I heard uh also has like imposter syndrome really bad is Jelly Roll. Do you find that to be true?
No. He he claims that he has imposter syndrome because he truly believes like his story's so crazy and most people know it now. Like, he was legit, and Post Malone didn't do any prison time or anything like that. Like, Jelly Roll was a legit criminal who spent time in prison, like, legitimately. And at that point, you can and you're 600 pounds, you've got tattoos on your face. There's no way that in your mind you ever think that you can be one of the biggest stars in country music. You just don't believe that that can be the case. And so for it to be happening to him right now, I think that it's hard for him to wrap his mind around. So it
Yeah.
depends on what you're saying by imposter syndrome, because I think that Post Malone might actually like have it, like where Jelly Roll handles the fame really well.
And
Like,
Post
he's
Malone
so
has been around longer. So you think he would be used to it by now. So I think you're right. He probably
yeah.
that's just who he
I don't
is.
think Jelly Roll has imposter syndrome. He just has the like, I truly cannot believe that I'm in this moment.
That's amazing. I like him too.
Uh,
I like
he
him too.
he's probably the nicest guy in the industry at this point.
But I
Like,
hope that stays because again, he's so new.
he's
And
not new though. That's the thing about Jelly Roll that people forget is he's been a touring rapper for 10 years before, and
right.
he did
Okay.
at times he was doing 300 dates a year. He would only have
Well,
60 some days off a year where he wasn't doing a concert. That's how often he was like playing rap shows. And so for him to not be burned out is surprising to me. When he came to Denver last summer, he does a barbecue where he invites his VIPs and like the radio people, and he has somebody barbecuing ribs, and he's got a full bar, and he
yeah.
stood there. He was sick. He had strep throat. He still stood there with us for 2 hours that night and just hung out with everybody as they ate ribs, and he was hacking up along, getting ready to go on stage.
Oh, that's
2
amazing.
hours. No one does that. No one.
Yeah, but here's why he does it because he was a normal guy. And so he's done prison time. He's not one of these pussies who's like, like, and I don't want to say this, there are some artists, I don't want to name names. I don't.
Morgan
I
Wallen.
want to. No, not Morgan Wallen. I'm thinking of more like no, I don't want to name names, but I'm just saying there are some artists out there where they are like, you need to drive me to the stage. Most of them are like that. Let me out. I'm going to sing. And then the SUV, it needs to be waiting for me at the stage. And so I don't have to talk to anybody. So that's refreshing. There is a video, actually. I think everyone has probably seen it by now. of Post Malone talking to, I think it's like a homeless guy. And the guy's like talking to him, and Post Malone is clearly messed up. And he's like, yeah, man, that's cool, man. like a hobo. And I saw that and I thought, what a kind soul.
Yeah. I've experienced it now. He's a kind soul.
Wow,
He wanted to see
Shawn.
my wiener.
And I love that he wouldn't let go of the Hardy thing. That's almost makes it the funniest story I've
I don't
ever
even know
heard.
how long I was standing at this pisser and how many times he asked me if I thought he was actually gay, because I wasn't peeing. I didn't have to go. I was just standing there faking it.
Wouldn't it be a nightmare if he was like, why you didn't even have to go to the
Yeah, I
bathroom?
can't hear any pee coming out. I can't hear any pee hitting the water. What are you
I
doing
thought
in
when
here?
you said he looked straight ahead, I thought you were going to say that he said, do you even have to go to the bathroom? Because you're just standing there completely dry. I can hear it clearly. I
He
love that
wasn't shutting
story.
up long enough. He talked more when we were in the stalls than he did when I was out, like, having a conversation with him. He was just
Yeah.
more in his element.
Okay.
All
Well,
right,
I
that's
love
it.
that story. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening. And thank you so much to our presenting sponsor, Talent Co Real Estate. If you need to buy or sell, and check out the home of the week, because it's a beautiful one. And you probably don't even have to deal with the HOA, which is so awesome. And then check out the pet of the week, thanks to our friends at Casey's Pest Control. His name is Diesel, and he's a sweet baby. And that's it.
This is a new week. Why is it the same damn pet?
Oh, shit. Because we're recording on Friday, so I got that dog in my head. I hope that dog found a home already.
I hope so
There'll be a
too.
new dog. I'll make up a name. Pepper.
Where do you get these dogs at?
It's from Second Home Rescue.
Oh, okay.
So we're working with an actual adoption agency, not just people who want to get rid of their animals. Well, people who do want to get rid of their animals, I guess.
Yeah,
But
I mean, if you have a cockatoo and you don't want it anymore, you tell us about it. We'll help you rehome that bitch.
that's right, except for cats. Shawn hates cats. He
Yeah.
doesn't want them to find joy at all in life. So,
It's just
okay, that's
I want to make sure that people understand that they're actual shitheads, and you don't want a cat. You just don't.
really, I don't know. I kind of think I'm already in my rabbit phase, where Ryan walked in today and I was holding it like a baby and I was rocking and I didn't even realize I was doing it. She was asleep, my sweet angel Ziggy Stardust.
I can't
And
listen to this anymore. It's over.
shut up.
Have a good day.
Goodbye.